Welcome. This is G. You are with Allastrology. Two beginnings and one ending. And we will start off by laying the card down for beginning number one. This is going to be for the ending. Okay, the beginning number one's at the beginning of the month. The ending, the closure will be in the center of the month, towards the middle of the month of August, and then another beginning at the end. So it's always nice to end off with a beautiful new beginning. And that's what the third card on my right will represent. And it'll give you a beautiful visual. Is that for the sign of Aries, you have a new beginning in an exciting place, Aries. Children, fun, romance, creativity, joy. So it's dating, it's mating, it's relating, it's creative energy. Are you looking to have children? Spice up your life. If you're married, rekindle some romance. If you're available, this is a new beginning in the area of romance. And it has a lot to do with how you're going to shine and radiate. It's your creative forms of expression. It's the way you stand out in the world. It's how you get recognized when you're in the crowd. You know, that person kind of glances across, your eyes connect, and it's like, whoa, I need to meet that person. I want to talk with that person. Can be creative projects. It doesn't have to just be about having a physical child, although it can. So keep that in mind if that is not something you want. Creating in any form or facet, right? So what I do here on the channel, this is my way of creating, but there's also drawing and painting and music and singing. Like there's a lot of different ways people can create. Some do it with food, right? Lots of different avenues that you can be a creative beast. Focus on what it was that gave me happiness when I was a child, because this is that energy. And you really start to feel this at the end of July. This will kind of flow into the beginning of your August. And so your first card for that new beginning. Wow, amazing. This is pretty insane. This is like a holy matrimony card, and there's children in the picture. I swear I shuffled the cards up and laid them down. So this is emerging. This is coming together. This is who you will commit to. This also, even though this looks very much more, obviously, romantic, but it can be business partnerships. It absolutely is definitely more romantic, though. This is a lot of people walking down the aisle. There's a child there, a flower bearer. Perhaps you're in the process of making plans for a wedding. Perhaps this is just something that you dream about. But this is a new beginning. And this is the card. This is a couple, at the altar. The partnership is strong in this. It's a union. Maybe this is also something, it does kind of have like a religious look or tone to it, but it doesn't have to be, because the sign of Libra is the law. It's about things being fair and equal. That's important. She has a rose in her hand, one single rose, which represents like this is her one true love. The spouse is somebody who is connected. There are feathers, and there's the location near the third eye. So this is someone who is not just all about the material and the physical realm, but they are also, when they want to be, they can put their hat on, and they are intuitive. Okay. And that's good to know, right? Because that is something that comes in handy, especially when folks are going through tough times. So Libra, Leo, right? Children and fun. This is the sun. But what's this right here? This would be Venus. This is love, money, and values. A lot of individuals may feel happy just having a partnership would make them feel happy, right? And sometimes it is a matter of that gives them the security that they seek in their life, that makes them feel good, right? That supplies them with a sense of confidence. But there is something here about, I'm hearing her being able to, and him, for them both to be able to retain their individuality, because that's the sun and Leo, that within this relationship, this partnership, it's super important that they're each going to retain their individuality, because it's their ability to retain their individuality that will allow this partnership to be able to handle the long term, to be able to go the distance. Because when they can retain their individuality, that retains their individual happiness, so it's not 100% dependent on the other. And being creative and being able to independently, uniquely express themselves in a courageous way, confident. That's Leo energy. And so don't be afraid. This card is giving you the strength and the courage to take that next step. So when we get to the middle of the month, we have closure, a completion. This is in group energy, which is kind of fascinating because when the first card starts off with a marriage, especially if we've got a couple that wants to have a family, if they're planning on having a family, or if they're planning on, spending the year, testing the marital water, so to speak, right? Somehow, the friends and the group energy kind of takes a back seat for a certain amount of time. Doesn't mean it has to be like a complete closure, but it's definitely on hold. The ending and the closure has to do with friendships here. It's friendships. And so it might take a serious tone only because there may be a friend that may have been older than you, someone that you looked up to in your life. So whether that was a father figure, somebody who somehow, could have been a boss at the job, somebody that you respected, something somewhere along the line, a masculine energy is there's a closure to that. And they're taking a back seat. And it's something that you're choosing and you're doing, which makes sense if this over here begins at the end of July. Then, like when we get towards the middle of August, this takes a back seat. This is like a closure on something or someone in your life. It's those friends that were probably pretty intelligent, that were smarter possibly than you, that almost had like a scientific type of mind. It could have been like some internet social gathering type of stuff as well, because it has that vibration to it. And so let's pull that card and see what else we can find out. Wow, right off the top, this is so fascinating. The sign of Aquarius, masculine energy. This is the planet Mars. We also have emotional stability, friendships, possibly, because this is also what Aquarius is. But interestingly enough, we also have the sign of Cancer. And so the sign of Cancer is ruled by the moon. And so this was a friend who felt like family, and possibly a friend who was a family member. Feminine, possibly, but definitely warm, nurturing type of energy in your life. So someone who likely an authority figure, maybe this was mom or just a woman, or maybe a male who exuded some feminine energy, who you are feeling as though there's some sort of a closure on it. But when I look carefully at this card, what's fascinating about this looks like a birthing process. So what this tells me is, combined with what I've already heard in the astrology around it, this tells me that for you, this is a birth. Even though it's an ending and a closure, it's because there's something else beginning. Interesting, right? But this is a new birth for you specifically. So it's important that this ending occurs. Right here's the moon. Could be family member, could even be the inner child growing up and birthing the adult now, because the inner child is healed and now becoming an adult. And well, making a previous decision like this would be definitely the next step of adulthood, right? No longer under the guise of mom or dad in your life, but striking out on your own. This is fascinating. Now, when we get to the end of August, we're talking about another new beginning, and that's really exciting. Everyone likes new beginnings. This has to do with your health and your daily routines and your job. It's like your tasks, your organizing, it's your practical, like mundane day-to-day stuff that may not seem like too exciting. It's kind of boring even. However, it's those day-to-day routines that can make or break a lot of marriages, right? A lot of folks, there's that physical attraction. There's we love them, we're out together and traveling. But then when it comes time to take this and do the domestic side of life, it might be a little challenging. Well, this August shows a new beginning in that area. Without me getting to that card yet, this August definitely speaks to a new daily routine, a new practical domestic daily routine. And so this might involve, it could be something as simple as a new health habit, It could be something as simple as changing some arrangements in the home, moving some furniture, just having to adjust how your bathroom looks, right? Having to adjust and reorganize things in the home. It's a strong Virgo energy, right? So it's the practical, the tangible, but it's the little things, it's the details. And so the caution anytime we with Virgo is we always strive for perfection, especially when it's something new. Like we want to come out of the gate, do a really good job. We want to impress. Just remember just remember not to go overboard because Virgo has a tendency for perfection, perfection, perfection. It so badly wants everything to be just right. This Aries, I'm super excited for you because especially if you're looking for love. Now, if you're not looking for love, if you're not looking for marriage, if you're not looking for romance, then so far this is a new creative endeavor of some sort. And I love this because it's about having fun and being in your happy place. That is what this card is. It doesn't have to just be about what we're seeing here. So if it's not a marriage, then it's a recommitment to yourself and your childhood ways and creating and what it was you did in your childhood that helped you to feel joy in your life. Can you feel joy when you're alone? So that's like the marriage to one's self even. Okay? So there's lots of different ways that these can apply to whoever you are in your life. And if you're watching this and you have a question, feel free to ask me. Feel free to comment below and find out, if there's something here that confuses you so I can clarify. So let's go ahead and let's get to this last card. I'm excited. And looky. Wow, this is crazy. Information and the details. And it's moving fast because Mercury has wings and flies. Just remember, Mercury can be a trickster because it flies so fast. And sometimes it may go through inclement weather and it might have to slow down. Sometimes, if it flies too fast, it drops bits of information and has to go back and get them. Taking in the information and gathering the information before making a decision. And just being cautious to not be overly critical because this is Mercury in Virgo energy. It's really like organizing and it's restructuring the simple day-to-day practical tangible stuff in the home or at work. Again, this can be your job, the job. So possibly new information pertaining to a job. If there are any of you Aries out there looking for work, let's not forget this is also the messenger of the gods, Mercury, and that's why you see this like this, the messenger of the gods carrying a scroll, like a very important piece of information. Gemini energy, coworkers and sibling energy. This is peers. If you're in school, this can be classmates. That's also that energy. Learning something new. That's Gemini energy. A new trade, perhaps. Learning a new skill, I should say, more specifically. Okay. Information because it's Mercury. It's sales too, by the way. This is big times sales energy. Whenever we talk about Gemini and Mercury, white collar jobs, there's two butterflies in this picture that I see. It looks to me as though one butterfly is on the ground and another butterfly is in flight. Do you see that? Am I seeing that right? There's the two butterflies because kind of like Gemini energy is the twins. There's two sides. One is portrayed as being on the lower end and one is on the higher end. Keep your ears and eyes peeled. You might have choices and opportunities. And obviously in choices, well, something doesn't get chosen and one thing gets chosen. So just remain flexible. Remain flexible. Keep your options open because it looks like there's opportunities and choices coming. Enjoy your August, Aries. So below the video, I'll have all the degrees for those of you who like to pay attention to the degrees in your chart. Again, if you don't know and you want to know, just comment below.